Hi, this is Raj, your host, Unleashing Talent. Welcome to the Young Talent Career Podcasts. And today we would be talking about the clarity of thought. Now, everything starts from the thinking. If your thinking is correct, directional, around the objective that you have in life, then everything else will fall in place. The question you should ask yourself is, are you thinking correctly? Is your thinking in the right direction? Are you generating that thinking? Are you generating the right ideas? We call it ideation. In the mind, we continue to develop ideas and keep thinking about something, right? So one is that you would keep thinking whether you want or you do not want, what to do, how to do, where to start. And if you are able to make small accomplishments based on your thinking, then you start feeling motivated because your thinking and your action have a correlation. This is even interesting if your thinking is around the key goal that you have in life. So that's what I thought could be a helpful concept. The second important element is the attitude. If you have the right attitude and if you have the growth mindset, then your thinking will get influenced positively. Now, by design, people think negatively. So your mind will get into the negative zone, more about, how would this happen? This is not going to happen. This is tough. This is not easy. And whys and hows and wheres. Now remember, those are the questions that trigger negative thoughts to you or to me or to anyone else. And those are the questions that if you answer correctly, appropriately, then your thinking starts bringing forth positive results to you. So it's very important to channelize your thinking around your career goal. And I'm trying to focus on the subject, which is Young Talent Career Podcasts. So here we are talking about the thinking that is important for you to build your career. And if your thinking is correct, your action is going to be correct. So if you're thinking negatively, even a positive step would be difficult for you. So it is very, very important to have the clarity of thought. That's absolutely important. Now there are two things. You could either be in a state of confusion or you could be in a state of clarity. This is what I thought I would bring before you as part of my learning. So if your thinking is not directional, not focused, if your ideations are not around the career goal or whatever goal you have, then you might get into a confused state. I have got into the confused state many times because I want to do something in life and taking action is very different than thinking. In thoughts, you can travel the entire world in a fraction of a second, but when it comes to taking the action, that requires perseverance, that requires hard work, that requires planning, that requires structuring, that requires organizing, that requires delivering results, that requires evaluation of those results, that requires the ability to understand the impact of those results and so on and so forth. I can keep on going and talking more and more about it. But then let me come back to it. So often you as a young talent, or anyone for that matter, may get into a state of confusion. And remember, that's very natural. So if you get into the state of confusion, don't worry about it. All you have to do is to just come back and replan. Just take a piece of paper and start writing and realign your thinking towards your goal, and then start taking those actions. So two things. It is absolutely important for you to have clarity of thought, and that is important for you to take the right actions for your success. If you get into a confusion zone, that's fine. Sometimes it happens. You get a stress, and a bit of positive stress is important for us to be successful. But then that's not a matter of worry. But if there is no synchronization between the thought and the action, and if the confusion continues to grow, you would have come across people who remain in a state of confusion for a very long time. And I would go to the extent and say, yeah, that is okay. Sometimes to make a larger decision, you keep thinking about it for a long time, but thinking about it for too much long time is probably not okay. It might give you a stress, and you start developing low esteem that you're not accomplishing, things like that. So don't let the low esteem develop and grow within you because of remaining for a long time in the confusion state. So once you start ideation, you start thinking, start bringing clarity in your thought in terms of actionables, and you would have more clarity every time. And then over the period of time, you would develop the art and skill to set a goal, think about it, plan, and then execute. So the clarity of thought is very, very important. In fact, when you get into the corporate from campus, one of the things that leaders would like to understand is whether you have the clarity of thought or not. So if you are in a meeting, in a board meeting, or in a meeting with your team or with your leader or your seniors, and you are providing them some information or some update, they would like to see if you have that pattern thinking within you or not, if you have the clarity of thought in terms of what you want to convey and what is the purpose of your communication and how it is helpful to other or not. So sometimes people get into a meeting, they are confused, they would confuse everybody else, and then they would lose the opportunity of building credibility through the clarity of thought. So I know maybe a little bit of complex, but just keep in mind clarity of thought is very important for career. Thanks a lot for your time. Appreciate it.